Welcome to episode 4. Today we're going to talk about reincarnation and the 10 realms. Reincarnation is a very interesting topic in Buddhism. I think it's one that is surrounded by this sort of mystery in Western culture. And you often hear people saying things like, oh, you did something bad, so you're going to be reincarnated as a mosquito or whatever, or there's a sort of this almost comical way of talking about it. So it's not inaccurate, but I thought we would delve into reincarnation and what exactly it means and why it's important for an esoteric Buddhist practice. So esoteric Buddhism very much deals with reincarnation, and right now you are in this thing called Samsara. This is the endless cycle of death and rebirth. Arising and falling. Kind of sounds like karma, doesn't it? Remember that episode? I hope so. Samsara, so it's what we experience when we're in the 6 lower realms. We haven't incarnated into an enlightened realm yet. Let me quickly explain the realms. So in esoteric Buddhism, there are thought to be 10 realms. This very much describes a spiritual realm or spiritual realms, as opposed to this world where we are, which is the physical realm. However, the spiritual realm and the physical realm are inextricably linked. We'll get into that in just a moment. But in the spiritual realm, there are 10 different realms. I think in the West, we're very much used to a Christian view of heaven or hell, maybe some purgatory. But in Buddhism, there are 10 realms, and those 10 realms are from the lowest to the highest: hell, hungry spirits, animals, fighting beings, human, celestial beings, pratyeka Buddhas, shravakas, bodhisattvas, and Buddhas. So these are kind of big words. They might be some new concepts. So let me just briefly describe some characteristics of each of these realms. Hell, what does Buddhist hell look like? This is a good one. Buddhist hell looks like a huge buffet of delicious foods. These spirits sitting at this buffet, and they're all starving. They just want to eat more than anything. But all of their chopsticks are 3 feet long, so they can't get the food into their mouths. This is also a key allegory as to how about reincarnation and altruism. Hell turns into heaven when those spirits with the long chopsticks realize they must feed each other and not only think of themselves. That would be the lowest realm. The second realm from the bottom, hungry spirits. This is characterized by spirits that are greatly in suffering. A common image is spirits that are starving and thirsty, but have no mouth or too small of a mouth to take in nourishment. It's a way to symbolize suffering. Above that, animals. We're very familiar with that. Animals controlled by animal instincts, or sort of the lizard brain, if you will. Above that, you have fighting beings. These are called ashuras in Sanskrit. This is a state where all of these spirits are fighting. They're constantly in a warlike state. Above that is the realm of humans. Humans are very close to this realm of fighting beings. And humans are also very close to the realm above them, which is celestial beings. So these are the realms that that's easier for humans to sort of connect with or be in touch with. And I'm sure a lot of you have felt that you've been connecting with the realm of ashuras during some hard days at work, perhaps. Being human is a great place to be reincarnated, because when you're human, it's sort of your ticket out of samsara. It's your ticket out of reincarnation. Why is that? As a human being, you have this physical body, you have senses, so you can hear the Dharma. You have this capacity to think and to make choices for yourself. You can choose to practice the Dharma. You have a physical body, you can speak, and you have thoughts, and you can use all of these to practice the Dharma, to do good things for other people, if we put it in the simplest terms. And so by doing that, and practicing the Dharma, hopefully you'll achieve a level of enlightenment during this lifetime, which is the point of Esoteric Buddhism, and you won't have to reincarnate in Samsara anymore. You'll reincarnate up. So above human beings is celestial beings. These would be beings like, I think in the Western realm, we might think of them as angels. In a more Eastern realm, for instance, in Japan, we would think of these as some of the Shinto gods would be included in this. So, gods associated with the sun or the harvest, those kinds of things. There's Hachiman is a very common deity in Japan. Bizaiten, very common deity in Japan. These deities, people are very familiar with this concept of asking these deities for help. And as these deities, helping people when they request it would be one way that they can accumulate good karma, they can accumulate merit, and then reincarnate up. So those would be the lower 6 realms. Those are the ones in which you are continually reborn. If during the lifetime that you have, you manage to achieve some enlightenment and reach realms 7 through 10, which would be pratyeka Buddhas, shravaka Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and Buddhas or tathagata, then you wouldn't reincarnate anymore. That's where you would land in this cosmic reality. And let me just briefly describe what these 4 types of beings are. Pratyeka Buddhas are solitary awakened ones. This refers to a quality of enlightenment that's sort of lower than the other ones. And it's more or less people, you can think of it as a solitary pursuit, meditating alone in a cave, not interacting with others, not serving others. That is a type of enlightenment. Above that would be shravakas. These are beings that have attained enlightenment solely by hearing. It refers to only hearing. They haven't really taken any action. They haven't done that part of the Dharma. Above that are bodhisattvas. These are Buddha beings that are characterized by being other-centered. They've taken a vow to not enter final enlightenment, go to that next stage of enlightenment, until they've enlightened all other sentient beings. And in the Japanese mythology, it said that bodhisattvas can drop down to any of the realms at any time and go there and try to help those beings, to try to lift them to out of suffering and to a state of enlightenment. Above them, you have Buddhas, which is a pretty big category. Often this is thought of as tathagata, which would be the highest type of Buddha, or sort of the most sublime state of enlightenment. So if you're born as a human, your goal is to practice the Dharma, do good deeds, accumulate good karma, and then when it comes time to be reborn, hopefully you'll get into one of those higher realms, the 4 higher realms. So that's a summary of these 10 realms. Another interesting thing to note about the 10 realms in Buddhism is that they not only describe the afterlife, because the spiritual realm and this physical realm are linked, they also describe, let's call it your states of mind. So let's say that you have your esoteric Buddhist practice, you're practicing the Dharma, you've been born as a human, you're doing all the right things. You could actually experience all 10 of these realms as a human being during a day in your life. Let's take a quick example. You wake up, you're feeling happy, you feel great. You might feel like you're in, let's say, the human realm. Maybe your mindset is more of the celestial realm. You get up, you make coffee for your partner. You did something great. They seem happy. You're happy. You feel the joy that you've done something good for them. Maybe you get all the way up to bodhisattva or even Buddha because you've done something for another person and you're feeling this great spiritual joy. Then, as you walk around your house, you kick the couch and you get angry and frustrated. Then you drop right back down to being an ashura. But let's say you're clever and you think, oh, I just stubbed my toe. This must be a message from Buddhas saying that something is off in my life. I need to move something, make a change. And you positively reflect on that. So you went from being an ashura, a fighting being, or having anger, and maybe you're back to bodhisattva, feeling grateful to Buddhas for having shown you something in your life that you can improve. So that's just a very quick example, but it does illustrate the key concept that this realm and the spiritual realm are interlinked. That's going to be a whole nother video. So that's a summary of the 10 realms and reincarnation. Hopefully you know a little bit more, and that will help you as your practice and interest in esoteric Buddhism develops. As usual, would love to hear from you. Leave a comment. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me something. We'll see you next time.